Love is in bloom. This week we're introducing you to the candidates for our wedding in a week. This morning we're introducing you to Colleen Reed from Divine Designs and Events. She is in charge of the flowers for the big day. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, and flowers are going to really do a lot to make the day because you want that visual pop. Everybody wants that. All right, let's talk about some of the things you have. And hopefully, I was just telling you I had a traumatic experience last weekend trying to choose my flowers. It all worked out, but this can be overwhelming.
I'm sure it can be. I mean, it's a big day and you have all of your close friends and family with you. These are just some options for some personal flowers.
Okay.
And when I say personal flowers, I mean bouquets, boutonnieres, anything that anyone carries in the ceremony.
Yes.
So this is a great option. A lot of my brides are choosing to carry a little bit of color because in photographs, it just shows up so nicely.
Okay.
So this would be a nice size, nice textures. You've got your orchids and callas and roses, and this would be a great complement.
Okay.
If the girls are wearing like a more neutral color for your
so
bridesmaids.
then the bridesmaids would wear would use most of the color.
Usually, my brides do choose to carry something that's a little bit more classic
I
and
like
neutral.
that.
Thank you. And then you have that big pop of color really come from what the girls are carrying, and then maybe an even bigger pop of color in the reception space.
Okay, and for the guys, if they're matching what the bridesmaids are wearing, they're just going to wear a simple color like this on the boutonniere.
Absolutely,
for their boutonniere.
and a lot of times if they have like a colored tie and vest, they might want to go neutral again, where the orchid is a great option because there's that little touch of color in the center. So it just gives you a little touch of color, still classic and clean and elegant.
Okay, let's move over to the flowers that you'll use for the ceremony and for the reception, because this is where I almost had my heart attack because the person told me $8,000 and I thought, that's just over the top, I think.
Absolutely. I think there's an option for every budget. And something like this can go, a little bit above budget because we've got these large cymbidium orchids in there, which are right here. But if you take those out and fill it out maybe with a little bit more hydrangea, a few more roses or other cost-effective seasonal flowers, then you're going to be a little bit closer to where you want to be if you're trying to keep that budget a little tighter.
That just was amazing to me. But what I do like here is I like the highs and the lows. I like the movement that creates in the room. I knew I wanted that for my wedding. So talk about this display. I really like this one.
Thank you. This would be a tall cylinder vase. We have the white hydrangea that creates a nice cuff with the really clean line of the calla lilies. And what I usually recommend is if you're going to do a low arrangement, keep it under about 14 inches. If you're going to do a tall one, make sure the flowers start above about 24 inches.
Yeah, so you can talk to each other across the table. You need to be able to see each other. Okay, talk about where you're going to need flowers for the ceremony and also for the reception. I mean, there's some key places, and then you can accent more if you don't mind expanding, but they're key places. Sure.
If you're getting married in a church, usually there's spaces on the altar on either side where there's nice space for arrangements. If you're getting married in a hotel venue, you can then look at structures. If you need a huppah for religious purposes, or if you need an arch of some type. Okay. So that would be a great place down the aisle on the sides of the chairs.
Yes.
And then when you get into the reception space, you have your cocktail hour, so sometimes small little arrangements for those tables are nice. Place card area if you're doing formal tent cards, a nice wow display when guests arrive. And then your tables. And what's nice about the highs and lows is when you walk into a space, your guests will see, wow, those are really elegant, and then, oh, that's really nice and intimate, maybe a few votive candles around it.
That. What about for the couples table? The couples table should have one of the most spectacular pieces?
It depends which way you want to go. If you are on a budget, that's a great place to reuse your bouquet. Okay. And we like to deliver our bouquets in a vase that can then be repurposed at the front of the table. It gives you a nice pop of color there, and then you could accent it with additional small arrangements. But if you do have that little extra room in your budget and you want a little bit more color.
Well, so, okay, let me ask you, what should be a budget then? I mean, I know people of all types get married, but what's a typical average budget for someone doing their flowers?
It's so hard to tell because bridal parties, I've had bridal parties of 12 bridesmaids. I've had one maid of honor. Okay. So that's where it can really
make the difference.
It can really fluctuate. Also, like you said, you're having a small wedding. So you might have 10 tables where we've had 25 and 30 tables. Right. So it really depends on where you're going. So it can range anywhere from $500 or $600 if you have really simple taste, all the way up.
And see, I never have the simple taste. That's the problem, Colleen. Thank you so much. These are beautiful, though. All right, well, you can contact Colleen from Divine Designs Events on her website. You can also give her a call. And you We'll decide which of our finalist couples will be married live on Fox 45 Morning News next Friday, and they'll get the benefit of these beautiful flowers. Voting has already started. Our 4 finalist stories are on our website. Go to foxbaltimore.com to vote for who you think should win. You can also vote on our Facebook page, facebook.com/foxbaltimore. The winner will be married live on the air next Friday. It's all brought to you by the Baltimore Bridal Show at the Baltimore Convention Center, February 4th and 5th.